Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
This is what I have to work with, everyone.
And Sean Alley.
Like I said, I was just thirsty.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. It's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone. What's up there, Mr. Alley?
Wow, doing good, Jason, doing good. I tell you what, finally starting to see a little bit of a change of season. I know everybody else down south is already enjoying the nicer weather, but it's gradually letting go up here. So I'm looking forward to be able to shoot without having to wear gloves, coats, hats, muck boots and all that stuff. So that day's coming soon.
Well, I mean, like you said, for those of us down here, we've already started our season. For everybody, I would say probably the Mason-Dixon and North. We're probably just getting ready. So hope you're getting out and doing your training, getting with your coach, getting tuned up. And which, by the way, Sean Alley, we're going to have a 3-part series, just letting everybody know. We're going to have a 3-part series discussing a lot of that with some really good coaches and guests that are going to come on and talk. Sean and I are not the experts. We can speak from experience, but we're not the experts. So we're going to get a couple experts on for each one of these series and ask them some questions and try to help you as per class. Sean, I think we discussed we're going to break it down for episode 1 will be D and C class, episode 2 will be B and A, and then episode 3 will be AA and Masters. So. Yeah,
and it's going to be real similar to the series we did called The Path. It's kind of along that same line, but we're going to focus more in on the individual classes. And again, what kind of things can help you if you're in this class or that class, and what things you should be looking at and what kind of things you should be learning from your coach, yada, 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 yada. Should be pretty helpful for everybody out there.
And what mistakes we made. Not just with equipment, but with,
Well, I don't know if we can go that long. That podcast would take a week, so...
Yeah. Hey, reminder, everyone, before we get started, please remember to get over and get your tickets for the Dead Pair Kolar drawing. Very excited about that. That gun is absolutely beautiful. $32,000 value. Somebody's going to be really happy with that. Choice of barrels, high rib, flat rib, mid rib, grade 3 wood that's going to be fit to the winner. So if you win this gun, it's going to be fit to you. It's going to be fantastic.
Yep.
Plus, you get your... What's that, Sean?
Sorry about that. I was just going to say, and just remember, guys, portion of the proceeds goes to the Kids in Clay Foundation, so it's a win-win for everybody. Also, hey, we had some comments for some people that said they were having trouble going on the website. It was a little bit confusing the way it's laid out. When you go to the, GiveSmart website, I think is what it is. Yeah. When you click on the initial tab there to take you into the drawing, or to the Kolar drawing, click on the image. There's other buttons on there. Just click on the picture of the Kolar. It'll take you where you need to go.
Yep, for sure. Sean, we do have one tourney talk to get to.
Yeah, let me get that taken care of for you.
Yeah.
It's Tourney Talk. Brought to you by Score Chaser.
All right, everybody, this one's pretty simple. Illinois State at Northbrook is now open. That will be happening July 10th through the 13th. Once again, Illinois State at Northbrook.
Man, I love these state shoots. We just had Bruce Potter on for the Florida State that's coming up here in April at Blackjack Sporting Clays. And I just, I guess being involved in the OSCA, the Ohio State Board, I don't know what it is, man. These state shoots are so cool. I really want to go to Georgia. I really want to go to Texas. I want to start going to some of these larger state shoots because I think they're almost their own signature shoot anymore. It used to be, it's like, this is a state championship and all. It's now become more of a signature thing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pride too, because obviously we take a lot of pride in the Ohio State shoot. We always have. But I think for other states as well, they kind of roll out the red carpet for people. So if you get a chance to go visit and travel around, I think you'll have a good time. There's lots and lots of great state shoots out there. In addition, if you're just getting started in the game and you're, in whatever state, that's probably one of the first shoots you should try, aside from traveling to, like, say, the Nationals or a regional or something. That's a good way to get your feet wet on a bigger shoot and shouldn't have to travel too awful far to get that done.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, listen, we got some ways people can save some money. Taconic Distilleries, if you go to their website and order anything, make sure you enter the code DEADPAIR10 at checkout. That's all one word, DEADPAIR, the numbers 1 and 0, all capital, all one letter, or all one word, no spaces. DEADPAIR10 at checkout. It's going to save 10% off your order. And hey, look, if you can enjoy bourbon and save a little money, I'm all about it, Sean.
That's another win-win for everybody.
All right.
And strangely enough, that same exact code, that DEADPAIR10 code, DEADPAIR 10, is the same thing for RE Ranger. So our friends at RE Ranger are giving a 10% discount as well. If you guys are looking around for some glasses, some nice set of Reacts, or one of their other lines, make sure you get on there. And if you do order, make sure you use that coupon code to save you some cash.
Yeah. I'm telling you what right now, man, I absolutely love my Rangers. And I don't ever want to shoot with anything else. But hey, Sean, speaking of shooting, we are talking to Mr. Jake Spengler from the Cardinal Center, general manager there. He's got his trusty sidekick with him, so we're anxious to talk to them. And what's really cool, Sean Alley, you want to know what the coolest thing is about the Northeast Regional, Sean Alley?
I'm sure you're going to let me know.
The Fueled by Fiocchi Dead Pair Prelim.
I kind of had a feeling you were going to go that direction.
Look, I get to teach you how to set targets. Everybody gets to have some fun shooting them.
I'm unteachable. I'm unteachable.
Yes, we know.
I'll just go out there and set something I think it looks cool. And it's like, yep, that's all right. Rock and roll with that.
Unteachable. Yes. I heard that somewhere. I think it was Chad Roberts. Anyway. So... yeah, let's get on to our guest, Sean. And then right after Jake, we've got the lovely Miss Amber Brown from Michigan going to tell us what's going up there in that state up north. So I'm looking forward to this, man. Let's get to our guest.
Let's do it.
The Dead Pair.
All right, everyone. The big man's got a round table sitting up there. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jake Spengler.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing fine. And then, of course, we have... the lovely Miss Carla. How you doing, Carla?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Sean Alley?
I'm here. And we're getting ready to get this thing done. Carla's never been in studio before, but Jake's been here multiple times.
Right. You left the door unlocked and see what happens.
That's fine. That's fine. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Carla, let's start with you. Sorry, Jake, ladies first. We're talking the Northeast Regional here. Do we remind everybody what the dates are for that?
June 10th through the 15th. VTAS starts on the 10th.
Okay. What else? When's the next thing that opens? I mean, does Subgauge open right away or?
Yeah, everything. It starts on Wednesday.
Okay. Jake, what are you doing different for this event for payouts?
Payouts were just standard in line with kind of where every other regional falls. Jace, we're looking at 75 plus in cash and added prizes. I know the main event will consume a bunch of that for as far as percentage of the total payout, cash payout.
Yeah.
But still just looking to continue on the regional path. We brought in a bunch of target setters, which I'm sure we're going to talk about at some point, which is a little different than what we've done in the past. Normally you're seeing 2, maybe 3. I think we've got half a dozen. If we include you guys as 2 rather than 1, right? So
yeah. The dynamic duo.
Well, Jake, can you give us kind of a quick rundown of all the events that you're going to be offering for the regional?
Yeah, you're looking at the standard gamut, man, at 200 target main event, 100 target new style feed task, 100 target prelim that runs Wednesday through Friday. Subgauge feed task runs the majority of the week. Super sporting, 100 targets on super sporting, 100 target 5 stand. We'll do some side games with the Troop Air Challenge, some Longbird stuff, have plenty of practice available. Just, again, standard regional program, trying to not reinvent the wheel, but provide a quality experience.
All right. You guys doing any like side games or make a break or Longbird?
We will have a make a break. Eddie will be there. Cole Gunsmithing has sponsored that this year.
Nice.
So we're going to figure out what form of cash and product we're giving away for that.
Okay. Other than the make a break, anything else or no?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really this year.
Good deal.
Well, Jake, you kind of murmured it there a minute ago. Who you want to give a rundown, a gamut of the target setters for this event?
Yeah. And again, they're all people I've worked with elsewhere. Lots of big shoot experience amongst the group, but it's Rick Hemingway, Joe Skull, Eric Dorsey, Zach Gorettis from Forest City. And then, of course, the two of you guys setting the prelim, fueled by Fiocchi, correct?
That's right.
the fueled by Fiocchi dead pair prelim. That's a mouthful.
Uh-huh.
Well, that ought to be cool, man. That's going to give everybody a good variety with all those different setters. So,
yeah, lots of people that, again, our region doesn't travel all that well. We're starting to with Ohio and Michigan shooters, Pennsylvania. You see a lot more of those names in the Southeast. So these guys will be accustomed to some of their stuff, but we don't have a whole lot of terrain. So diversity of eyes and diversity of vision will help the event a bunch as far as target quality.
Yeah. Speaking of terrain, are you guys making any major switches on the course layouts with what you're doing?
So the newest thing will be a road that's about 2/3, 3/4 of a mile long. And that's to facilitate the 100 targets and new style feed task. Now there won't be a whole lot of terrain, diversity, but we'll bring in lifts, and Dorsey's setting that. So he's creative, to say the least. For people who haven't shot Eric's targets, he's, like I said, creative.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, one of the questions I was going to ask you, I don't have this written down here, but it just came to mind. You've already got a pretty impressive registration. I think you're up over 800 now. Is there still room for people to get in if they want to shoot any of the events?
There's plenty of room. My main event has 51 on the wait list right now.
Okay. But the other side events, maybe there's some of them still open. I mean, you don't have to give me an exact rundown, but I mean, what I'm saying is
some side events are open.
Yeah. Okay. And this isn't so much of a common problem anymore, but I mean, I'm assuming you guys are going to have plenty of ammo available, golf carts available, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we plan to have plenty of ammo available, as this event will kind of run into our Ohio State Trap Championship.
Okay.
So it'll be a big couple of weeks of prep, but we look forward to having everybody out, and again, plenty of ammo availability. Carla, they can get golf carts through Eagle at what's their website?
Got the deer in the headlight.
You got to call them. You have to call Eagle Golf Cart.
That's it.
Eagle Golf Cart. Okay.
Yeah,
so
Eagle
if
Golf
they want to
Carts.
reserve one. Now, Carla, you can probably answer this. The one thing about Cardinal that sticks out to me other than most other shooting facilities, you guys have an enormous campground. So people that want to bring their camper and camp, can you run down kind of the brief amenities there that you have on site?
We have an indoor pool.
Mm-hmm.
And if kids are there, we have a playground and basketball.
And about how many sites and hookups do you have?
550.
Wow. Okay. Well, so
550.
I think we'll be able to accommodate a lot of campers then. Doesn't sound like it's going to be a problem. And you guys have cabins too, right?
Yep, 29 cabins. I think every last one of those is spoken for.
Really? Really?
But we're seeing an influx in campers too. So it'll be a good weekend. Carla's got a huge menu planned for Friday and Saturday night. It should, again, just adding to the experience. You're going to get quality targets, but the thing when you come to the Cardinal Center is going to be experience for the customer.
Right. And for those that don't camp or can't get a cabin, plenty of hotels nearby, right?
Yeah, we're within 20 minutes of Polaris. I couldn't even tell you the number of hotels.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. So I don't think they'll have any problem finding that.
Yep. Planning on plenty of food. If nothing on the menu strikes your fancy, then if you can't find it at Polaris, I don't know what else to tell you.
TS,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
they have everything under the sun available there.
Are we going to keep the food a secret?
No, you don't have to keep the food. I mean, you want to sprinkle knowledge of food, but
Little teaser.
yeah.
Anything really cool, Carla?
I think so.
Okay. You got to remember, a lot of these people have already experienced
I was going to say, we're on the edge of our seats
maximum
here.
amount of cool that we can throw at them food-wise.
Well, you guys always do a phenomenal job. So if you want to tease some of our listeners with maybe one or two choice items just to kind of pique their interest,
That's up to you.
that's up to Carla. If not, no big deal. We can leave it a surprise.
Let's leave it a surprise.
Okay.
Well, I heard now, Sean. I did hear that they're catering in lobster and ribeyes for all the target setters. So,
Damn, all right. I'm going to be a target setter then.
a couple bottles of Don Perignon, you know.
Right. Right.
Which for Jake means like Bush Light cheeseburgers from McDonald's. So,
Dollar menu.
Quantity,
Yeah,
not quality.
you order off that value menu, buddy.
Yeah.
So okay, airports, obviously Columbus is going to be the closest, but Cleveland's not that far of a haul, really.
Cleveland's not terribly far, but I don't think there's anywhere in the continental United States that you can't get to easily through Columbus.
Right.
You know, and then by the time you get baggage and you get off the plane, you get baggage and stuff, you're at the club in under an hour, I would guess, Chase.
Yeah, well, the only reason I brought up Cleveland is because sometimes the flights can be a little cheaper going into Cleveland than they are in Columbus, but that option's there for somebody, I guess.
Absolutely.
So we talked about dinners a surprise, vendors. I know you guys are going to have food trucks and that kind of thing. What about like raffles and giveaways? That's people love that stuff, Jake. You going to have any of that there?
Yeah, I know we've got gun giveaways from a bunch of sponsors. I think we're doing some Beretta stuff. I'm certain we're doing some Browning stuff, ammo per usual. Bear Pelt's doing something different. Carla might be able to talk a little bit more about that. Something involving gun sleeves, you know.
Ooh.
But those class winners, is that what those were for? Do you remember?
Class and that's for the main event and feed task.
Okay.
And then they're doing 3 vests for HOA for both and female.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So either one of you can answer this. Tell us what you're doing in terms of shooter experience to differentiate this regional from all the other ones.
Ours is always quality of food and extracurriculars, right, Jace? Like that is the staple when you come to the Cardinal Center.
Yep.
The extracurriculars are always going to be up there.
Yeah.
Right?
Food is always top notch. You guys always do the best job.
So plan to do a lot of that. I think, again, we can't allude to food because Carla said we're keeping it a secret, but if people aren't wowed on Friday and Saturday night, I don't know what I can do for them.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like if the food's not doing it, and again, I'm a fat guy, so I'm easily food works for me. Food works for me.
It's important.
That's fat guy crack.
Right. And then just the camaraderie and having everybody, you know, for the state shoot for the last couple of years, we've had 400 people stick around on Friday and Saturday night.
Oh,
you know, and it's a gathering, and then some memories are made to be forgotten, right?
They get a little hazy at times.
but you know, it's a collection of friends and like-minded people sticking around and enjoying each other's company. And that's what it's been about. That's what we pride ourselves on when we offer the experience, is that type of atmosphere.
Well, understand, look, between the four of us, this is rhetorical, and Sean and I are extremely biased because there's so many great clubs in Ohio and we know what they have to offer. But I wanted to ask the question to give you a chance for the people listening that are thinking about coming to this event to understand what's there. Mm-hmm. So, Sean, did you have something you wanted to ask Jake about the Cardinal Center?
Yeah, actually, you know, the last time you did the regional, that was what, 2019?
19, yeah.
Okay. Since then, do you have like a quick list of like things that have changed or improvements for somebody that hasn't been to the Cardinal Center since the last regional? I know it might be kind of hard to reach back and think that all the stuff that you guys have done.
All the seasons kind of mashed together, you know. This road will stretch us out a little bit. The region will be the first time it gets shot on. Again, it's people have got to see the long-term vision because it'll be flat. Again, we're going to try and provide as much target diversity as we possibly can with man-made objects, but longevity-wise, it's going to be.
And where is this new road going in at?
Directly west of where our current sporting course is now.
Okay, all right. So just further out in the big
just
field.
South of the big skeet line. Our pistol range has grown drastically. We host a lot more events there now, especially with the inclusion of USPSA and a couple of NRA national matches. That's grown. But, you know, the biggest thing that this will help is SCTP Nationals because we can facilitate even more clay target shooting for the youth for that 2 weeks that they're there in July. But yeah, biggest thing you're going to see is the road. Grounds are going to look great. I hope, as long as we don't get a whole lot of rain, but that's kind of the roll of the dice.
Well, and for those of you listening that aren't familiar with the Cardinal Center, if you've been to the Nationals, you realize there's roughly about 2,500 people that go shoot the Nationals, and the Cardinal Center every year hosts the SCTP, which is approximately 3,500
kids. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking another 1,000 people on top of the Nationals, and the Cardinal does this every year.
The one thing about that, Sean, that people don't understand is because they're 8 to 18.
Oh yeah,
they're coming with mom and dad and grandpa and brother and sister and friends and all that. So at the Nationals, where you may have one person as an entry, at the SCTP, you have one person as an entry and two people, usually, if not more, accommodating each of them. So yeah, there's 3,500 entries, but you're probably looking at, I mean, Jake, am I wrong? 8 to 10,000 people there?
No, you're probably not too far off, Chase.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a huge amount of people.
Yeah, so for a venue to handle that volume of people and shooters at the same time, and across 3 disciplines, not just sporting. So, and that brings up something too, Jake. One last question I want to ask is, you're fresh off of a 2-year bid where you hosted the Ohio State Championship. And I'm sure you've refined your program to run like a watch, but this is almost 900 shooters versus 600. Tell us about some of the internal structure, not just adding more staff, but what has to change to accommodate that volume of shooters? I mean, obviously you have experience with it with SCTP like we just talked about, but what do you do different?
You hire really good help, to work.
Right.
You hire really good help, and then you really lean on the great help that you've got already in-house. We've got people that so just think about staffing an event that's 900 people. Okay. We staff an event that's 3,500 people. So it does present a little bit different challenges for sure. But it's not anything that our staff's not used to handling, so.
And that's a tough one, man, because I've been to some really great venues, and like what they've done for a shoot as a whole, the targets, the food, everything they've done is, it runs like clockwork. And then unfortunately, because it's hard to get help as a trapper, because let's face it, it's a thankless job that doesn't pay a lot of money. But it's like, man, did you go to the local crack house and load up a truck full of people and get them over here? I mean, what did you do? I mean, people that you could tell by the look in their eye when they walk up, it's like, get me out of here, but when you go to the Cardinal Center, I know Dan and Sean at both Eagles Nest and Hillendale are really good at it. They find trappers that are like vested in what's going on and actually give a crap, about what they're doing.
Yeah, a lot of them are shooters too. I mean, kids on the youth teams,
right?
Maybe people that shoot around the club just for fun instead of necessarily compete. And when you get those kind of people that have the experience of what it takes to run a tournament, I think that benefits everybody.
Absolutely. And I mean, labor's the hardest thing to come by, because even if you're paying top dollar, you're still looking at people that don't necessarily have a job, and it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And labor is always a challenge, but we have one woman that handles all of that. Right. It's again, hire good help.
Yeah.
Hire good help.
Yeah.
It's tough to do.
Make or break you.
Jake, Carla, and did we cover all the bases here? I mean, is there anything?
Yeah, she wouldn't let you tell you about food. So
I know, I'm bummed about that. I mean, look, you're talking.
It's going to be impressive. It's going to be, impressive.
Okay, I'm excited.
I know we've got some free cigars and stuff. I know. What else we got going on? We got some other fun stuff.
Got ice cream again.
Yeah, free ice cream everywhere for everyone.
Nice. Free ice cream's never a bad thing.
No, especially in June.
We have some goodies in your shooter bags that I'm excited for.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
More to the point where we're not gonna.
You're not getting that either.
Damn it.
But, I will be opening registration early, so it'll be open on June 9th, that Monday, from noon to 5.
Very good.
So anybody who wants to register beforehand, I'll be open on Monday.
Good deal. Have we missed anything or overlooked anything at all?
I don't think we have, guys.
Well, thank you both very much. Appreciate
Quick, fast, and to the point. Jace, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was almost 60 degrees here today.
Yeah.
That's it.
Almost hot.
It was perfect.
It was almost hot.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
I think the low here last night was 60.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully we're starting to get out of this cold funk.
Yeah, the single digit temps suck.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a long one, too.
It has been a long, cold winter.
It hasn't been just where it's like 2 days. It's been like, here's your week of it.
Week after week after week of it, yeah.
And then you get to 20 and you're like, oh, this is so much better than where we were, but it's still not great.
Yep.
And then right back down to it. Yeah,
Yep.
it's been brutal.
If I haven't said it once, I've said it 100 times. You know, I miss you guys. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I just don't miss the weather. But
no doubt.
I'll be back up there soon enough to see y'all. I'm looking forward to it. I've already put the creative juices together as long as Jake doesn't lasso me down too tight on target setting. So I think Sean and I have talked about we want to do something that's really fun but still challenging for the prelim. So
you bet, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about. You're going to get quality targets. It'll be a bunch of variations because you got a bunch of different eyes looking at them and doing what they want to do. You know, so that's the thing. We don't have terrain yet, but in long term terrain. Hey, Airport Ridge did cancel their Atlas Cup.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I heard that. I just talked to Doug the other day about that.
That's very unfortunate.
That does leave the door open to do something next year during the state shoot for you too, if that's a route you want to go.
Yep. No, we're already planning on it. We talked about that, and I guess we'll let that cat out of the bag. So we're going to have a dead pair in the north and a dead pair in the south next year. So dead pair blast, excuse me. So we'll have an event up north and we'll have an event down south, and really looking forward to that. Hopefully I can still put something together yet for this year. We're struggling with that. So dates that time of year down here are very, very in demand. So we'll see what we can make happen.
The good thing about it up here is nobody wants to fucking do it in June. You know, if you can get Michigan to move off of it, you've got a solid chance to have absolutely nothing and all the vendor support you could possibly want because they're already going to be there.
That'd be awesome.
That's where my head's at right now.
Well, guys, like I said, thank you very much. We appreciate you joining us.
You bet, guys.
Hey, everyone. Each and every week you hear Sean and I brag about our sponsors. And it's not because they sponsor the show. It's because of their products and the unmatched customer support behind each and every single one of those products. We hope you're taking the time to investigate for yourself, try the products out, and see why we love them so much. Hey, Toby Tomplay, you want to remind everyone who we're talking about?
I'd love to, Jason. Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun. Fiocchi USA. Here at the Dead Pair, we're fueled by Fiocchi. Ranger Performance Eyewear. See it further, see it faster, see it clearer with Ranger. Atlas Traps, America's finest clay target equipment. Rhino Chokes. For deadly patterns and knockdown power, choose Rhino. Long Range, the industry standard for trap release and target management systems. Taconic Distillery. After the tournament is over, it's time for one more shot with Taconic Distillery. Score Chaser, your shoots simplified. Clay Range Design Works, your one-stop shop for all your clay target needs. And now, back to the show.
All right, joining us on the phone, the lovely Miss Amber Brown. How are you, Amber?
Good. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing okay.
Amber, how have you been? I know you just got back from Jack Links not too long ago. You're back in the cold northern tundra. Is it still pretty bad up there?
You know, it's been crazy because we went from 85-degree weather to about -5. And we came home and I measured my porch because I was so interested, and we had 16 inches of snow. So to go from like 85 degrees to that was like such a shock walking through the airport, just walking out.
Yeah, I'm sure the body was probably just screaming like, no,
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I'm jealous of Jason, put it that way.
Well, you know, I don't know what's going on. There's a cold front that came through here. I think the high tomorrow is only supposed to be 65 for some reason. So,
you poor thing.
I know. I had to put a hoodie on and everything.
Oh.
But so, Amber, you were telling me recently, and this is why we're having you on, that big changes are happening to the Michigan Sporting Clays Association. What's going on up there?
Yeah, so last year we had 4 or 5 people on our board, and as of the new year, we have 11 with 2 national delegates. So, and we have a brand new president and vice president, and there's just a lot of exciting things happening up here that hopefully we'll talk about most of them. But yeah, just we have a full board now, which we haven't had in years, and just a full team ready of people ready to work.
Nice. Well, Amber, so what's your position on the board? Just curious about that.
So I'm the secretary. I'm also a national delegate for Michigan.
Okay.
And I also am doing our marketing and advertisement for our state as well.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I can speak from experience, and Jason can too. We're both current members of the OSCA, and I'm also a national delegate for Ohio. A lot of people, it's a thankless job. I think we all know that. Nobody gets paid to do this kind of stuff. And I think you have to have a real passion for the game and also your state to be able to put on a good shoot. We're kind of blessed here in Ohio. We've got a lot of great clubs and a lot of people that are willing to step up and take on the challenge. But, that all comes around to basically having the right people on the board to make things work. So, I mean, being gentle about this, was the change relegated because there was some changes that need to be made from the personnel standpoint? Or, did you just have to get enough people with the right idea or the right mindset, you think, to move forward and make Michigan's Sporting Clays Association better?
I think we were just lacking the amount of people, and we were needing a little bit of new change. I think it's really easy in a state to continue doing what you've done for so many years. But the fact of the matter is that, the MSCA and the circuit and every state that has an association, it's constantly changing and growing. And you have to be putting out new ideas, bigger payouts, more giveaways, as you guys know from Ohio's standpoint, in order to grow anything. And so it really came down to that. And there's so many of us with kind of fresh blood here that are just so eager to, we've done so much in a month, in the 30 days, with so much more to come in 2026. But yeah, we're really excited.
So the structure change was needed to better the shooter experience at the Michigan State, or the Michigan clubs in general, right? I mean, is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, I mean, we really primarily only have a couple clubs that are local Southeast Michigan, MSCA, NSCA sanctioned tournaments. So really, we're just trying to work with other clubs as well in the region that are also, easily located by people that can come from Canada or Illinois or Indiana or Ohio, including you guys, to try to grow our attendance, even in one-day tournaments, but obviously our 2 premier shoots every year, which are the Great Lakes and the State Shoot, and just basically try to get an outpouring of different donations and sponsorships from the communities and businesses, and trying to find trappers. And we have a lot of really good people up here, like Jim Moses from Promatic, that is from Michigan, that is able to help us out a lot and stuff like that.
So now your position, you're new on the board, right?
Yeah, it's my first year.
Okay. So as someone that travels the circuit and you get to see, things from a national level, and then you also get to see how different clubs operate and different shoots operate, that's got to be a pretty big advantage for you to be on the board, right? I mean, that you probably bring a lot more knowledge than just, say, the guy that's local to 1 or 2 clubs up there and it's been on the board forever. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to have different, I don't even know what the right word is, different eyes of different ages on the board. And I think being young, I'm 25. I also have a best friend named Steven Steele. He also travels. And so we're both on the board, and we're both on the marketing side of this. And I think that's huge for us as well, just figuring out how to market shoots and pull in different sponsors. And even you guys know, you go to tournaments and there's tons of or circuit shoots, right? And there's tons of tents set up. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to go gather information or to talk to different sponsors or, do everything we need on site rather than over the phone and kind of create more relationships that way too.
Gotcha. Well, Amber, you mentioned the 2 shoots you guys do. What is the Great Lakes shoot? Can you just give us a little tidbit on that?
Yeah, so the Great Lakes shoot is basically something that we've done for a long time, and it's basically just like a premier 2-day event.
Okay.
It'll be thrown over September, I think it's September 20th and 21st, which is a Saturday and Sunday. I don't think I'm wrong there. And it's going to be at Multi Lakes Conservation in Walled Lake. And not too bad of a drive if you're coming from Ohio or Illinois. And basically, we're just going to have like a 200 main. I believe we're implementing, if I'm correct on this, it's kind of like newer information, but we're trying to maybe push 100 feet task that weekend, which I think would be pretty cool and could draw some more shooters. And I believe we have a 5-stand event as well for that.
Okay.
It's kind of like a mini state shoot type deal.
Gotcha. And is it already up on Score Chaser?
I do not believe this is up on Score Chaser yet. I think that is something that we're actively working on.
Okay. All right. And then, of course, your premier shoot is the state shoot.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us a little bit about that and like what you guys are doing for 2025? Any changes immediate, or is this down the road?
Yeah. So we're trying to do all that we can. We have a guaranteed payout of $8,000 to $10,000 right now for our state shoot. And it's actively growing. I'm trying to work on more sponsors and more relationships as the event nears. We're kind of behind the ball getting this online. So it did recently just post a Score Chaser, and that's going to be June 20th through 22nd. And that's at Grand Blanc Huntsman's Club in Grand Blanc. It's a great area. It's by Fenton, Holly, Hadley, Metamora, that area. And there's actually a close airport within 30-40 minutes in Flint, at Flint Bishop, and plenty of campgrounds, 2 or 3 campgrounds with full hookups as well.
Hotels are close by too then?
Yep, hotels within 20-30 minutes, tons of options there, and good dining options in Grand Blanc and Fenton especially.
Are you guys going to have a full gamut of not just main, but prelim and sub-gauge and super sporting and VTASC and all that?
So what we're going to do, we're kind of limited just with space because this is a smaller club. It's going to be a fantastic event. And I will say the targets that are there, Vince Laurie is setting, and he's known to kind of spice things up a little bit. So I'm kind of excited. So relatively smaller grounds. Kind of similar to Detroit Gun Club, maybe a little bit smaller if you're familiar with that. And we're going to have a 200 main Saturday and Sunday. We're also going to have a prelim on Friday. And then we're going to have a 50-bird VTASC, a 50-bird 5-stand. And then we just added in a 50-bird sub-gauge. We're just really limited on room as far as throwing anything more. We wanted to do expand the VTASC and 5-stand a little bit, but there's just unfortunately no room to do that. But we will have snooker.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
We are working actively to put together a snooker plan. And hopefully we'll have those details in the next couple weeks so you can kind of tune in on the MSCA Facebook page and kind of get those details. But yeah, we're excited to bring that for Saturday night for some entertainment.
Very cool.
And so a couple more quick questions. Golf carts, you guys will have golf carts for rentals there?
Yes, we will have golf cart rentals.
And do you guys typically bring vendors in for your state shoot?
This year, again, this isn't, it's a smaller facility. I don't know exactly who is coming at the moment.
Sure.
I know that we have a couple people up in the air that might be coming, like an earplug dealer. I know in the past, like Pacific could show up. I know they help us out a lot. obviously in Southeast Michigan. Jim Moses with Promatic. Sometimes he'll have a tent. I don't know if he plans on having one or not. But right now, I don't think we're planning on doing a lot of vendors there. It's going to be kind of more of a homey feel this state.
Gotcha.
Well, sometimes those shoots are the best.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so can you put the time machine glasses on and looking forward to next year? Is there any big goals or ambitions that you have for next year that you can't do this year because of the time frame?
Yeah, so we want to try to make maybe like our bidding, the clubs that put in for bids a little bit more competitive, and try to really support these clubs more than we have in the past. And it's nobody's fault, but now that we have some more manpower, just really trying to use the resources we have to throw them back into the clubs and their premier shoots for our state, because ultimately, bigger payouts, bigger door prizes, giveaways, that's going to bring people, food brings people. So all of those things, and obviously like just having like good camaraderie, making sure we have make or break or snooker, and just trying to grow it back to what we used to. Because when I had started in 2017, our current president was the president then. His name is Jovan Blackwell. Super great guy, great shooter. He's done so much for our sport up here. I think next year is going to be the best we've ever had. I will just put that out there and say that now, just because we're going to be putting in so much effort and time these next 12 months leading up to it to try to get our state shoot, no matter where it's at, posted by November, December, so everybody has ample time to prepare. I do believe it will probably be one of our bigger clubs next year is my guess. I don't know because we have not started that process, but I think we'll be able to throw a lot more. So we'll be working with like 100 feet task, hopefully, and maybe 105 stand, hopefully. And, I know from experience when we travel to a shoot that the shooters want to shoot as much as they can. So if we can throw, super sport and or 12 gauge, sub gauge, along with a main event, that also brings some people in as well. So we're going to be actively working on just trying to figure out the best format for like the bidding process and kind of what we want to see out of the clubs for events.
Well, Amber, you were talking about different clubs and stuff. What are some of the premier clubs in Michigan for people that don't know or people that might be traveling up there?
Yeah, so I would say one that's overlooked, but it's obviously used with our college sports is Hillsdale. Hillsdale has John Halter. Hillsdale has a beautiful facility for their college kids, and they also throw MSCA tournaments there. And we'll be having something called the Fiocchi Classic there this year that I know has a pretty good amount of money involved in it. So we'll be advertising that as well, and that will be in the fall. So if you have a chance to visit the college, go over and check out the bunker, and the sporting clays course is beautiful. That's kind of like near the border of Michigan. And then we have Detroit Gun Club and Walled Lake that's been around. It's one of the oldest gun clubs in Michigan, run by Scotty and his wife, Benke. And then we have Pat Liskey's two premier facilities, one in Brighton and one in Lake Orion. And they're doing a trail series this year, actually, in Michigan, that's going to have 3 or 4 different events. And there'll be lots of door prizes, and it looks like some money and some guns involved. So that's going to be one to kind of look out for as well. I know Pat and Drew, they do a lot for the community, and they're trying to, it looks like, get some new shooters involved. So that was exciting that we saw that on our calendar this year. And obviously, like where our state shoot is, Grand Blanc Huntsman's Club. It's a member-owned club, super small club, but they always have good targets, good food, and it's a very homey feel.
Well,
nice.
Does your board have a website where all this information is posted if somebody wants to go check it out?
Yes. So we have a website. Just look up Michigan Sporting Clays Association, and it'll be called, I think it's called My Clays.
Okay.
And you'll have most of our information on there. You'll be able to see the board. our positions, and any questions you have. We have an email attached, and you could always send us an email for our association.
Do you guys have like a shoot calendar on there for the different
do.
clubs and different shoots? Okay, cool.
We do.
Cool.
We have it
Very
all
cool.
combined. I think it's like actually pinned on our one of our screens, one of the different bars at the top.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, Amber, there's probably some people listening to this that, you know, are not going to make it to Michigan this year to shoot, but the important message here is how important it is to be involved with the board so that your state shoot, it can be the best it can be, right? I mean, there's states out there that have state shoots that nobody's ever heard of and might only have 50 people attending it if they're lucky.
Yes.
But if that's the case, a shooter, a well-involved shooter in the game can get involved with the state organization. And, you know, like Sean said, it is a thankless job, but it's how much do you care, right? I mean, how much do you want your state shoot to be successful? And I was always told you can't complain unless you have a solution. So
I
if you
agree
think,
with that. I mean,
if you think you have a solution, get involved, try to help.
Yes, you know? I agree. I mean, our last four did a good job. It's just they were understaffed, right? And so, you know, I definitely don't fault any of them. Just needing more bodies. It is a lot to do. And, you know, when you want to do a good job, it's, you know, we're split into different committees in our state, I'm sure as everybody else is. And we'll have like weekly meetings, weekly or, you know, bi-weekly meetings where we go over different progresses we're trying to make with different events. And, you know, really try to follow up with people and get stuff on the calendar rather than just push it aside. We really want to see things happen, and you have to have those hours put in just to, you know, to get this stuff done. So,
yeah,
gotcha.
For sure.
Well, even more important, I want to ask this last question. We can edit this out if this goes sideways, but something important I want to know.
Oh no.
Are you a college football fan, Amber?
Oh God, don't
do it.
Come on, now you got to let me know. Are you a Spartan or are you a Wolverine? That's the big question for Michigan people.
Can I answer this with like a question?
Sure.
So I don't watch college football, but I'm a huge Lions fan. And let me just say they killed it this year until the playoffs. But
gotcha.
Through and through, there's nothing like the Detroit Lions. And I will say everybody in our state this year, everything was blue. You drove through downtown Detroit. It was crazy electric. So our sports in Michigan, not really either or. I would say I was a U of M fan, but I don't watch it that much anymore. I'm really into the NFL.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm a big Ohio State Buckeye fan, and me and Paul go back and forth all the time, so you already know that. But I just want to say, if you were, I was going to thank you guys for pissing us off bad enough to go win the national championship.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Man, we did not look good this year. I will be honest with you. We needed some help.
All right. Enough fun. I know nobody wants to hear about that unless you're a college football fan.
You and your stick and ball.
Hey, I listen to your motocross ramblings however many times a week.
You know why I raced motocross? Do you know why I raced motocross, Sean?
I'm going to let you answer because I know my answer is probably going to be smart ass.
Because it's the only sport that requires two balls. So.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
You see what I have to work with here, people?
What you have to work with? You just be quiet over there, armchair quarterback. So, well, hey, Amber, seriously, though, we do appreciate you joining us. And I hope, like I said, if nothing else, even for the people that can't attend, we hope your state shoot grows. We hope this brings some awareness. But for the people that can't attend, I mean, I think the message here is how important a state board is. And it sounds like you're doing phenomenal work, and look forward to it. And, you know, even if I can't make it this year, Sean and I have been talking about going to the Michigan State shoot now for too long. So we need to get our butts up there.
One of these years you need to come. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. It'd be fun.
All the work that we're trying to put in, and obviously it doesn't happen overnight, but we're just trying to work actively to hopefully over the next couple of years be in Ohio, you know, be somebody that people put on their calendars and are waiting the whole year to come to because they're so excited. And that's our main goal. And honestly, getting kids involved too, where we've been talking about that more and more, just maybe trying to pull some of our SCTP kids into shooting these NSCA events a little bit more, because we see a decline in that. We're trying to bridge that gap a little bit as well.
That's a very ambitious yet good goal to have. So
yeah. And thank you for the compliment, by the way.
She didn't say anything about Buckeyes. She said
no. She said Ohio, and again, like I said, we're fortunate to have the shoot that we have, and I always love all the Michigan people coming down. As much crap I give Paul Prucka and stuff about football, we love seeing all you guys. We all love seeing you guys come down here.
We love going down. We love learning and being a sponge. I'm kind of trying to sponge my way through Ohio shoots this year, whether it's Cardinal or Hallandale, because you guys just do so much right, and there's definitely a lot to learn, and that's our purpose. So just trying to gather more information.
Yeah, it takes time. I remember my first year on the board, I was coming in guns blazing, and man, we're gonna crank this thing out. And don't get me wrong, the state shoot has grown exponentially every year, but it takes time. It's not going to be an overnight success.
Yeah.
Do you guys actually know how long you've worked in Ohio to get it to what you have? I mean, I know you guys are super dedicated board, but
well, I think when me and Jason actually started shooting registered targets in 2017, I want to say the state shoot was like in the mid 300s. Is that right, Jason? Does that sound about right? Like 350, 360?
It might have been that, yeah. And now we're still.
Yeah.
This is March, so March, April, May, June, July. We're still 6 months out. We've already got like 450 signed up.
Hallandale is just like, that was the first out-of-state shoot that I ever shot. We went to Ohio. It was 2018, I think, or something like that. Whenever it was there.
I met you the first time there at the Make or Break. Yeah.
Yes, and they know obviously Cardinal did a great job too, but that was my first experience was with Hallandale, and there was just nothing like it. The atmosphere, it was like a mini circuit shoot, basically. Mm-hmm. That was the feel of it, and it was like, man, we want more of these. And then it gets you hooked on the circuit, and you're like, I got to go find bigger shoots. So then you end up traveling,
It's a slippery slope.
You said you met her.
It's an expensive slippery slope, but it's there. Yes.
Sean, you said you met her on the Make or Break. Was that the 4th or 5th time I had beaten you on Make or Break? I can't remember.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Anyway.
No comment.
Amber, like I said, man, really appreciate you joining us. Thank you. And I hope this message gets out, not only about your state shoot, but to other organizations. So thank you very much for your time.
I mean, we so appreciate you having us on here, all of us, the board. Just we're super excited for the opportunity, and just to let us say a few words and just put a little device in people's ears for next year. Just plant a seed.
Yeah,
absolutely. Our pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much.
For sure. Well, thank you, Amber. And we're going to run, but I hope people get up to Michigan and check it out. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys.
The Dead Pair.
Well, Jason, this was certainly a jam-packed episode. We've covered the Northeast Regional with Mr. Jake Spengler. We've talked to Amber Brown, what all they're doing up there in the great state of Michigan. And, of course, it's recently we just had Michael Hampton on, and we wanted to make a quick announcement before we got too much further, guys. They've been having some problems with the website. And our contest for 5 free memberships to the NSCA, you had to go there, look up the current leader of the ladies' All-American team and email us or text us or whatever. And the first 5 people that do that will win the NSCA memberships. Now, with that being said, the NSCA is having some issues with their website. They're doing some maintenance and updates. So if you haven't been able to access that, we're going to extend this contest about a week longer, let that get settled down. And again, we'll just get the first 5 people that respond. So you guys get on it.
Yep. That's cool though, man. 5 free memberships. You know what? It gives them an opportunity for, no cost to figure this thing out. So
that's right. That's right. But getting back to what we talked about, though, I didn't mean to go off on such a tangent on that. But, it's always great to hear from Jake at Cardinal, and they do such a great job with some of these big events. I hope everybody can make it out there. We've already got, how many people, Jason? About 400 or 500 signed up?
For the Ohio State?
For the regional.
For the regional. Are you kidding me? It's almost 900, Sean.
Is it really? God, I haven't looked for a long time, man.
Oh,
So
my
that's
goodness.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's getting like these regionals are getting huge. Let me look here. Yeah, 880
Wow.
as of right now. It's 880 to the Northeast Regional. I mean, that's enormous. Look at Jack Links, man. In the first few hours, they had over 1,300. I mean, it was insane. I think right now it's booked. You got to get on a waiting list. So
Yeah.
but that, how cool, these shoots are really doing good. But I want to advocate, if you are a new shooter, or even if you're a seasoned shooter, the tournament shooter, I think you need to patronize your local clubs.
Absolutely.
These small clubs need help too, and they do a good job. There's so many of them out there that deserve recognition. That, I mean, look, we could do 4 hours a day every single day of the week and not cover all these clubs. Look, you know who they are. They're in your local area. Support your local clubs, man. Go there and shoot a tournament. Go there and practice. They need you to patronize them.
Yeah, I mean, for most of us, we only get to go to just a handful. I mean, like myself, speaking of myself, I only get to go to a couple big shoots every year, and I have to kind of pick and choose. So, in the same token, I'm shooting my local clubs, 10 times more than I am shooting the big shoots like the Jack Links Cup or the Nationals. So, just remember to pay attention to those guys because they really need your business and support to keep your sport growing in your state.
Well, speaking of all this shooting, Sean Alley, if you're shooting this game and you enjoy it, which you probably are if you're listening to this program, what should you do? What do we need to do every week, Sean?
The absolute best thing you can do is make sure as many people that you know about this game, number one, and number two, that you be an ambassador for the sport and invite them along to go out with you, maybe bust some targets, introduce them to shotguns and clay targets, maybe take them to a charity shoot, maybe get the guys together from work. You got a group of guys that, hey, what are we going to do this weekend? Take them to a charity shoot, take them to just your local club, bang around a little bit. It's a great way to spend time, also great for the family. So, I mean, it's not as hard as you think. Just open your mouth, invite them, and bring them along and watch the fun happen.
Yeah, and, look, whether you're taking us up here on our Dead Pair Challenge that we extended for 2025, it takes at least one new person a month shooting. But look, if they decide they want to try the tournament thing and they want to try competing, there's so many great programs out there. First of all, the NSCA is giving away 5 free memberships right now. And then you have the NSSF that's doing the First Shots program. There's so many great programs out there to help those people not be intimidated, give it a try, see if it's for you. I mean, if not, if tournaments aren't for you and you don't want to, go chase the punches and compete and all that stuff, you just enjoy the game, there is nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Nope.
We love seeing people break targets. So, but you know what, Sean, listen, we have talked long again. We seem to do this every week, but we need to get going. I know it. We need to get going. But we've got more guests we have coming up next week and a lot more to talk about. So, Sean Alley, until next week, my friend.
We can't wait to see you all back here on the Dead Pair Podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.